right, just waiting for the 0 to show up, and then I think we're live. Nothing yet. All right, I guess oh, there we go. Oh, so there's no viewers, but one chatter. Okay. So here's, let's go through the intro. So I would say I have enough money now. Thank you for everyone who gave super chats during my 2 to the X series of streams. So as of today, I got the first payment, the first YouTube payment from the December, when my views were really starting to go up from the that long form video I posted. So all credit cards now have 0 balance now, and I have enough cash in the bank to pay next month's rent, but not more than that. Yeah, I'll get to that. And people emailed me and said that they really liked the last live stream, so I was actually kind of surprised about that. So hopefully this one will be just as good. So that one, the last one, that'll be the last 2 to the X stream. And I guess for consistency, if I do more of those, maybe I'll start back at 1 or something, and maybe I'll do something a bit more innovative. Maybe with I was thinking actually about selling products. I could do 2 to the X products, but that's up in the air for now. So the immediate financial urgency has been resolved, and so I just got the that YouTube revenue in December on the 22nd. The revenue for December on the 22nd of this week. So what is your net worth? So in the bank right now, it's about 1,600 or something in the bank as of today, but there's no debt. And so the numbers that I posted, so I made that video. It took me almost a month to make that video. I think I posted it December 11th. So I was actually working on the video in November, and the numbers that I posted there, those were not great numbers, but it actually continued to get worse until I got one payment from the, November revenue. That was $1,000, but then I've actually, so that was up until like about a week ago. That was the most out of money that I've ever been in my entire life, and I actually I kind of like consumed all my investments and all my residual accounts and stuff like that. And then I had about like $100 in Patreon, so I had to like cash out a partial withdrawal from Patreon to pay down the credit card enough to buy like a few groceries and stuff. But now that the December revenue came through, all that paid off basically all my bills. I mean, I don't have that. My credit cards only go up to like I have 2 personal ones. One goes up to $1,000 limit, and the other is $2,000 limit. Let's see. Let me address the chat before it gets disappeared. Congratulations. Hi. Love your videos, Mr. Welder. Thank you very much. Bradley sends $2. Impossible. Oh, you deny the premise of my my live stream. Yeah, I guess I could always have a bit more money. And that's your 10th super on a live stream. How much money? The eternal question. To the X, grains of rice, eating challenge. Yeah, that's a good idea. Do you think I could ask you for a bit of career advice? How is the eviction thing going? Yeah, sure. Ask away on career advice. The eviction thing. My numbers. I don't know what the numbers are on. And the chat revenue is not updating. That's weird. I'll have to go mess with the OBS. Anyway. I was about to donate to you directly with a Google taking cut. How do I do it? probably like the most money efficient would be like I said, I don't really I don't really bother with direct PayPal, but yeah, probably Patreon is you could do like Patreon takes a pretty small cut of things. Although I kind of I think when super chats on YouTube, the fact that there's a 30% sacrifice to Google, Google directs all the traffic here, so I kind of think it makes sense to allow Google to take a bit of the revenue, because that probably brings in more of the people and keeps the the stream keeps the numbers up. Are you as addicted to caffeine as I am? I used to drink a lot more, but trying to cut back. Okay, let me. I'll try to get through the intro, and then I'll fix the metrics because they're not updating. It still says $0 chat revenue, which is false. Can you hear my fan going? The the new fan arrived. That's the fan that you hear spinning right now, if you do hear it. So revenue for the current month. So so that's the other punchline. So I paid off all the debt this month, and there's just enough money in there to pay rent for next month, but not more than that. But the revenue so far this month is also very high, so it'll be at least $5,000 this month. So which is, I can say the financial urgency is no longer as immediate, and hopefully the net cash flow positivity will continue for at least a bit. And as I mentioned, for future streams, I'll maybe try to do something a bit more interesting and innovative. Maybe try doing 2 to the X sale, live streaming until I get 2 to the X sales or something. Okay, I'm gonna go on. The metrics on the bottom are not updating, so we'll see what's up with that. Hopefully OBS doesn't crash, because it does randomly. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think the issue is if Firefox is in the background, then it just doesn't update the window or something, and then so OBS doesn't know about it. Okay. Let's see. So we got some new chats here. Any plans for retirement? Got a bit more money to make before I get to that point, but we'll see. So I've not the right guy to get career advice from. I can give you advice on on the path that I've taken in life. I have worked at a bunch of big tech companies before, but as he said, I can give you a unique perspective that you can integrate you together with other people. Because really, he's right. I have not been looking for like a regular, kind of mainstream job for quite a while, and so I'm really out of the loop. Like, if you ask me on how to apply for jobs and how to do resumes and stuff like that, I'm not a good person to ask at this point. See, we got a super chat here. How to escape the torment nexus. Torment nexus. You mean the workforce? I don't know. I guess you got to figure out some kind of entrepreneurial grind. I guess you can watch my 37-year-old broke loser for some examples of things not to do. But I mean, it's difficult. It's what everyone wants, trying to escape the matrix. Congrats, man. You'll be my first Patreon account. Oh, thanks. You would make a killing doing ASMR. Happy you're in a better spot. Yeah, a bunch of people have said that they really like my voice, so that's really great. And then it's funny. There's some people say that they really like it, and then some people are like, "Oh, this voice is terrible. I can't stand listening to this guy." Thanks for sharing your story. No problem. All you had to do was buy 10 Bitcoin 12 years ago. I actually bought 1 Bitcoin. When was it? In 2011 or something? 2012, around there. I sold it. I bought it at $200. That's when it was. And then I sold it quite a bit. I think it peaked. The first peak was it was around $1,000 or something, and I sold it around there. And then I sold 80% of it, and then the remaining 20% I diversified into other. I had some Bitcoin. I diversified it into I think at that time the other one was Litecoin and Dogecoin. That was the early days of Dogecoin, and I think after that Dogecoin went up like 100 times or something. At one point I was day trading with it actually, and I actually made money day trading. And but I had my coins diversified across I think 4 different exchanges, and every single one of them got completely hacked, and I lost all the crypto. So that's why I'm soured on crypto. One of the big reasons I'm soured on crypto forever. Did the chat revenue go down? That's weird. I thought it said $11 before. Does it ever get easy? I don't know, it depends on what you mean, on what specifically. In what irresponsible ways will you spend the money? Probably on, maybe on candy. I guess more realistically, probably on rent. And actually, I bought some computer fans. Let's see, did anyone? I think I asked before if anyone can hear my computer fan in the background, but I don't know if it's annoying. But it's really spinning up there right now. It's quite annoying. The other computer I bought in 2014, and that one is faster at streaming. So I switched to my other one, and I had to put it on low power mode, and it's like the frames are dropping, so I had to put it on the higher power mode. But now the fan is going crazy on it. But at least it's the new fan, the fan I've been waiting on for like 40 days. Got into cybersecurity. Problem is, I've not gone from IT first directly to IT sec. Now I'm facing technology gaps. I'm trying to find a way to fix that. At this point, I am. Yeah, I think definitely knowing like a lot of like if you're doing like, it depends what kind of cybersecurity is a big field, but if you're doing like pen testing and stuff like that, some of that stuff is like you can defeat the most sophisticated programmer if they just like forget to put the firewalls up. Like there's all kinds of bugs where the firmware on the router might auto update, and then when the firmware updates, it automatically disables all the firewalls or resets all the settings, and that happens silently. So in the field of cybersecurity, one thing is just test this basic thing that should definitely work. So I think to get into it, there's definitely low-hanging fruit, and then over time, I guess you can use that as a segue into it to kind of learn the field and get better, improve your expertise slowly over time. Congrats, man. Watched our How to Be a Broke Loser video, and it was really good. I've struggled with entrepreneurship without success yet as well. It really resonated with me. Yeah, I assume I assume there's probably a lot of people who've had, similar, like when I talk to other, so quote unquote consultants, people who are trying to do something similar to me, a lot of people's like, they had like one bad experience that was kind of like what I had. And then they're like, I just want a real job anyway. But for me, I was like, you know what? I want to give it a really good go at this and try this entrepreneurial thing. So at first I thought I was unlucky because I did have some of the engagements were actually successful. I didn't emphasize those enough in the video, mainly because they weren't as dramatic, and also because we actually produce something of value. So there's intellectual property considerations, and going to do catch the flag until I am dumb, I guess. I mean, you'll be smart if you keep doing capture the flags. But yeah, if you can, I guess, get into the field and like if you can start doing money, if you can start getting money, even just like doing entry level stuff, then you can basically get paid to learn more. The more experience you get. Yo, no way. Watch your video last week. Yep, it's here I am in the flesh. I'm not quite as my speech is not quite as fluid as in that video with all the editing. Entrepreneurial grind is certainly deeper into the torment nexus. It can be, at least the direction I went in. It's not something I would advise. Not advise going that exact direction. Maybe there's a lot of people say you should just do this or just do that, and I mean it's easy to say that from a keyboard, but then sometimes I could have maybe gone a slightly different way, and then I'd be making a slightly another video about how to become a 37-year-old broke loser, but I'd have a completely different set of stories. Stream just popped up on my YTB page. Nice. That's I guess maybe that's the algorithm taking effect. Can somebody explain why Robert's staying at a place where he needs to pay $5K for rent, or is that just? I'm not paying $5K in rent. My rent is $1,000 here. That's one of the reasons I'm staying here, is because I'm under rent control. Legally, I'm supposed to be under rent control, and it's it's supposed to be a thing in Ontario, but they're trying to get rid of everybody with rent control. Have you thought about doing any affiliate marketing for your videos? I have kind of thought about like there's been a few kind of small indie developers and stuff who have super chatted and like wanted to promote a product, and I thought if I could make more income doing that, I wouldn't mind. Actually, there's a couple that they super chatted in the last live stream that I'm going to try to mention during this one as well. Crypto is pretty much financial Wild West. Yes, absolutely. How's it going on the women front? I mean, all I think about last week I spent assembling evidence, and right now it's still we're still just in survival mode. Do you think you use Stack Overflow regularly? I used to use it more. I haven't written a lot of programs in a while. So, yeah, I gotta get back to, I gotta catch up a little bit and get away from just a survival mindset. Soured on crypto because lost a few coins in exchange hacks. Please don't look up crypto situation today. Oh, is it still the same or probably worse? Yeah, I mean, every time I hear about any of that stuff, like it used to be, people talked about crypto for like we were going to buy stuff and you do economic stuff with it, but I don't hear anyone talk about using crypto to buy anything these days. It's all just like scams and stuff. Yeah, and it's almost like it's an open secret. Like nobody takes it seriously. They're just like, oh, you're going to do a coin? Of course it's going to be a rug pull. Not have to tell me that I just got another pen test for a bank. Just quickly checking the website, and I immediately found SQL in the main search, the page function. Yeah, SQL injections are, and it's amazing, in a bank especially, that we can still find SQL injections on stuff like that these days. So, I mean, I guess it's one of those new fields where there's just an infinite amount of work. People are constantly pushing new bugs. I love how you spend 15 minutes preparing for a project, and the power cuts off as I go to use the soldering iron. Nice. Do you like to write? I mean, you can check out my blog. I have written a lot of blog articles. Yeah, I guess you could say I like to write about Linux and stuff, but thanks for my favorite Linux commands. No problem. Do you have any ideas on how to retain the audience you've gained from the Broke Loser video? I think you're a good entertainer and could make it work. Yeah, I've thought a bit about that. I think that's like it's kind of a dramatic point which brings in people, but the thing is, life is not necessarily always like, drama and high suspense stuff. So I don't know. I kind of accept that there's probably going to be like a plateauing. People will probably like, there'll be some new long time people that'll come in, and then eventually the goal will be if I can stay cash flow positive for a while, then I can actually start to, reinvest and build some actual business activities, and then I can start maybe making some content around those. Like I have the block mining simulation game. I could start, having some challenges on that, because I think the technical stuff is what I'm interested in, but I think the higher order thing is that like tech is interesting to a very specific subset of people, but business or like financial freedom, escaping the rat race, that is very interesting to a large audience. So if I can kind of focus on both of those angles, then I think that might be an approach. Aren't Ontario landlords worried they will eventually be landlord at Luigi's Mansion? I don't know. You'd have to ask them. Tell me database didn't have critical user data. Yeah, I hope it was just like some public website stuff. And we got a super chat from Shodan XX for £2. The intersection of Linux and BreadTube. BreadTube. I forget what the definition of BreadTubers are. Let's see. Also not certain if it's my place to say it, but dude, you're doing great. I feel you were uncomfortable in front of so many people, but you're doing great. Honestly, I would say I probably, there's 90 people watching now. I probably should be more uncomfortable, but I don't feel uncomfortable. I've not exploited it yet. Yeah, I guess maybe just sometimes you can just go there and put in like a single quote, and then it'll crash, and you're like, oh, it's vulnerable. Or you might not get the feedback. It might just say internal server error. Not late this time. Let's see. Invest a little in Bitcoin when it goes down. I probably won't. I like how the story has concluded from broke loser to I have enough money now. I hope you're able to springboard off this and sustain yourself without requiring future donations. Yeah, I think the way to go is just continue making more content, because even like as many generous people as there were, most of the revenue, I would say probably like I have to go back and look at it, but it's in excess of like 60, maybe 70% of it is actually from the ad revenue. So I'm thinking for me to donate $100, that's quite a bit of money to part with, but in the overall percentage of the total revenue, it's like the $100 donations are quite small in terms of like the revenue for the last couple of months. So they're not, it's not that I don't appreciate them. It's that like, I guess the ad revenue makes surprisingly quite a bit of money. So the main thing is just like bringing in the views, and the ad dollars are, I think that's more sustainable because you don't have to ask anyone to do anything. Let's see, we got a membership. Gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. And we got oh cool. So we got 5 people have a new membership. Congrats. Do you like Emacs? Nope, not at all. I'm a Vim guy. I'm new here. How much money do you have? $1,600. I'm not able to understand. How is he talking about? I guess you're maybe a new viewer. So much context to explain. So I'm a software developer with a one-man consulting business that didn't do very well. I posted a video called "How to Become a 37-Year-Old Broke Loser." It made so I was pretty in debt on most of my cards and running out of money, and this consulting stuff wasn't bringing in much, but my video did fairly well. And I also did some live streams where I just did live streaming until I get X number of dollars in super chat. And the last one concluded where I raised I got $1,024 in super chat donations. Okay, so I'm kind of caught up on chat, so we'll do go on with some of the other announcements. So my N13 eviction, I mentioned this last week, but N13 eviction for February 19th was rescheduled as a case management hearing, and it's going to be on Monday, January the 27th. So in the last week, I've been spending most of my time preparing evidence for the hearing, and just kind of catching up on reading up and figuring out all the random stuff. I'm shadow banned. Oh, is it? I always forget to put it on live chat as opposed to the. So sometimes I think some of the things you say they'll get stuck in the moderated chat. But if that, sometimes there are like things that I think should be moderated that are stuck there, but then there's also just like random stuff that shouldn't be moderated. But let me know if it's a problem. Oh, and so I've been complaining about my fan in my main computer. So that fan arrived after I think 40 something days. I've been waiting for it. So it arrived, and I immediately installed it in my computer. And then I also realized that technically I actually got ripped off, because the fan that I spent all this time waiting for, it was supposed to be a new fan. It said like new in box, it's supposed to be brand new. It was actually it was a used fan, and it also had it has these. It's a really awful design. It's got these two little prongs that stick off, or pads that stick off it, and they cover the chips because there's a couple other chips on the board that get pretty hot. And one of those was broken off, so I had to put tape on the motherboard to get it to stick there. And I can hear. It's better than my old fan, which was really done for, but this one I can hear a bit of a tick in it. So unfortunately, I actually did go ahead and I just bought a new. So I ordered another spare fan for the main laptop. So and I'm not using the other old computer that's a bit faster this week because its fans have been running out for a while, but because I'm using it a lot lately, its fans are now. If I leave it on for a while, it'll get stuck into a thing where the fans start making this really loud buzzing noise. So for that thing, and now that I have money, I can buy things. Now I can buy all kinds of fans for my laptops, and I'll have super great quiet fans that are good as new. And yeah, so that's the updates on the fans. Let's see. Thoughts on sunflower seeds? I haven't eaten those since a long time. Emacs, an editor, not from the Unix world, but I've heard of it. I'm just heated because I'm really dislike crypto and crypto bros. Just have no idea when to stop. Yeah, I think probably there's probably a large category of stuff that's related to crypto that gets shadow banned or put in that. But at the same time, I don't know. YouTube doesn't make sense sometimes. There's a lot of stuff that's related to crypto that they let through. Excellent title. Yeah, I figured it's a good way to end the series. It's I probably could have, like, based on the times, I probably could have kept going, but at the same time, I think it's maybe a bit disingenuous because I at this point the credit cards are paid off. I think I'm not in a super desperate financial situation. So maybe I'll do one in like maybe I'll do another series like that in the next few months or something. But I'll just I'll make it a little bit more clear that, like, I don't actually need the money. So only if you're rich. Save your AdSense money because it fluctuates and drops off January, April. Typically drop in advertising. Yeah, it's absolutely that's absolutely the case, and I'm prepared that it may very well, like, I've seen like swings from, like, when it goes down, it may go down to like 10% of what it was at the peak, so it may go down quite a bit. But I guess the other thing that comes with if the audience size gets larger, then that opens up other sources of revenue for like I can actually sell products and stuff, and I can also do other experiments. I mean, that's one of the big I think it's one of the big difficulties with the business is getting enough sample size so that you have data to actually make conclusions. You're both skilled. Seem like you'd be great as coworker. Said to not have more people like you in the workplace. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there are a lot of very decent people in the workplace, but then, of course, I mean, due to a lot of the concerns that I've vented in my various videos, I think a lot of people become good people go into that system and then kind of become a bit cheated. And I've read blog posts from people that I've known in the past who they seem like pretty chill people, but they talked about going to these companies and the way they experience burnout is they just like become like angry at people for no reason and start like just being really antisocial for no particular reason. Let's see. Receives spare used van. Yeah, I think it was just like an old. They took some old like garbage fan. It was probably someone came in for a fan and they said like, hey, this fan is really loud and it's starting to wear out. And they're like, oh sure, we'll replace it. And then they just sold it to me as a new one. Good luck in court Monday. Yeah, hopefully it's. I actually have no idea what to expect for that, but that'll. In terms of like the future of the streaming and stuff, there's some open questions in my mind about like how is my content production going to what am I going to focus on in the near future, and so after Monday I will have a lot more closure and certainty on what the future holds. Oops, the actual command got censored sadly. Okay, maybe I'll maybe I'll switch the chat to a live chat and see if it's. I used to upgrade to Windows 11. Yes, Windows 10 going out of service. My PC hardware won't support it. You think a laptop can do everything a desktop can? Yeah, I mean, in theory it can, but I find the main issue with laptops now is they produce way too much heat. They've tried to pack like way too much stuff into too small of a space, and the ventilation is just not good enough. So you can have a really powerful laptop, but then it'll just like immediately throttle itself because it can actually never run at full power from just a like heat dissipation perspective. Windows 11 is legit spyware. Give Linux a try. Yeah, I think that's reasonable advice. My advice on, like, if you're a Windows person, I think the way to try Linux is use an old spare computer. So if you have an old spare laptop that's not like it's an old and slow or something, install Linux on that, and then use both of them for a while. And then after a while, when you realize, like, okay, I can really do this Linux thing, then, because there may be certain software that, like Windows programs and stuff, that just like don't work at all on Linux, and you may kind of find yourself in a bind and have to go back. What kind of position in IT do you recommend for Linux command line, etc. Lover? I was always the odd one out with these things and had to use Windows. I would say, like, DevOps is probably like the main, like, if you wanted, if your passion is for, like, the like learning how the system works and drivers and all kinds of commands and doing everything, living on the command line, SSHing on other machines. DevOps is, I think DevOps can probably vary depending on the company you go to, but and there's probably a lot of, like, integration testing and automation stuff. Like some of the people who actually set up, like, the unit tests, a lot of that stuff probably runs in, like, headless servers, and so yeah, that kind of DevOps and some, like, integration stuff. Yeah, testing, I think a lot benefits from command line stuff, because when you automate it, you don't really want it to run in a graphical interface unless you were specifically testing a graphical interface. In which case, even though those, you may want to run it on a headless server somewhere. Windows 11 spyware. Where did you hear this? Not sure. Well, my desktop PC is missing, but it's missing to be able to run Windows 11. I think like most enterprise products now are kind of becoming spyware. Everything wants to, like, vacuum up all our data and run it on AI, and so that everything you do on your computers and it's probably in the terms of service somewhere that you need to, like, give Microsoft a license for basically everything that's on your computer now. ThinkPad said the way to go. Yeah, the ThinkPads historically have been, although this ThinkPad that I bought is, I'm quite disappointed in it, and I mean, I don't know what better alternative there is out there, but I've had a lot of issues with this one specifically. It's got all sorts of weird hardware issues. The fan runs constantly. The fan wore out before my old, like, 10-year-old computer. When I boot it up now, it comes up with this, like, bottom cover tamper protection error, and it's got this weird error where I'm not sure if it's related. It beeps, makes a really loud beeping noise if I don't have the headphone jack plugged in. It's incredibly annoying. You can dual boot, or I would actually, personally, I would really not recommend dual booting, because sometimes, and I've had this happen to me, and at least one other person I've talked to had a situation where Windows sometimes will look at a dual boot system, and it will identify that as, like, corruption, and then so it tries to, like, repair the corrupted Linux install, and then the result of that is that you end up completely bricking both installs, so then it won't boot anything. And I've had that happen a couple times. So that's why I kind of recommend, if you want to try Linux, try it, especially if you have files that are important to you, or, like, really important business documents and stuff. Definitely try Linux with, like, a separate, clean, especially like an old laptop. Use like an old one that was, like, really slow that you don't really care about, because then if it's if you try Linux and you don't really like it, then it's no real big loss. Algorithm brought me here. Algorithm doing its job. Excellent. Let's see. I'll just skip the ones where people are replying to others. Make maybe a framework laptop. Yeah, that might be an option. Yeah. Do you get married, bro? Nope, I did not. My 8-year-old PC has a CPU fan size of a brick. Yeah, I mean, if it's a desktop, then probably the heatsink on it is it's probably quite that about that big. £2 super chat from Shadow on XX. Will you teach me the command to Docker mail server? I don't know exactly what command that is, unfortunately. But if someone else does, then feel free to put it in the chat. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna put it in live chat. I'll just change that now. By the way, FOSS program looking glass to try Linux and Windows at the same time without dual booting. The FOSS program. Booting a live CD or USB drive is also a good way to try it out. Yeah, I guess if you don't, as long as you don't accidentally click wipe your disk and install. But yeah, that is a good way to just like try it out. Although I wouldn't really, like if you do have the old spare laptops you don't care about, I think that's definitely the way to go. Because I think a big part of trying it out is actually having like permanence and stuff on it, and it's not quite as it can wait quite slow, especially if you don't pay attention. You put like a USB 2.0. If you put it into a USB 2.0 slot and it's like super slow, it's going to take a long time to boot up. I've had a decent experience with dual booting, but caveat is that each OS gets a dedicated drive. Tried to dual boot on a single drive once and had the same issue. Same issue, I assume, probably with the Windows going in and trying to, repair it and totally brick it. Yeah, I mean, it depends how important your files are, but in my opinion, like anything that can make my files like completely deleted and lost, then I'm super cautious to stay away from that. Let's see. Anyone going to FOSS next week? Might meet some of you guys. Actually, I'm not even aware of what that is. I'm super distracted with other living situation stuff. FOSDEM. Does Apple run on a Unix OS? Their OS is very close to Unix. It's like a Unix derived one, but I think there's like some stuff like the POSIX. They implemented at least some of the POSIX standard, I think. Another busted fan. Yeah, I ordered a new fan, and the fan that I got is some old used one. But now that I have money, the YouTube money came through, so I ordered ordered lots of new fans. Is there a command to make Google the company disappear? I don't think we have that command yet. here to drop a heart and help it with algo. Thank you very much. Okay, let me move on a bit. So this here was one of the frequent super chatters. So I said in a previous stream that I was going to try and get him to 10 stars. So I set that as the goal. And then actually, let me see if there's. I linked this in the stream. So if any of you are interested in this project here, I mentioned. So it's a shell that this guy's working on, and he's looking for some feedback on it. So if you're interested in trying out a new shell, and of course do your own. I've not tested this personally, so do your own due diligence in testing out untrusted software. And I looked at some of the other demos last stream, so this one I'll do this one. So he was showing. So I guess this demo here was showing actually let me maximize that. Yeah, so I guess the demo here is so he's doing cat some kind of a file, and then he's using another command to like basically select it. And so this is built like right into the shell. So just in one illustration of a feature he's experimenting with. So anyway, if you're interested in personally, I don't try. I just stick with basically defaults. But if you're interested in trying out the shell, go ahead and give this a try and give some feedback. Oh, look at that! We reached our goal. We got 10 stars. Nice. Okay, so that's it for that project. We got a super chat here. Will you confirm or deny the allegations? I would say this interview is over. And the next project is HackMatrix. So this was this individual did a fairly large super chat donation, and I thought it was a pretty interesting project. So I set a goal of to try and get him up to around 700 subscribers. So if you're interested in this type of thing, then go ahead and give a look at this project. So let me see if there's any. I think this is also linked in the description for the stream. Oh, so we got no more subscribers, but probably watch time is probably the better contribution. So let me go down to the first video. So I highlighted a few different other videos last stream, but in this one, I guess he's illustrating. So he's running some code here. Let me make that bigger. So he's running some Python code here, and I don't quite know what he's doing, but so it's like a game engine. It's like a metaverse, basically. I hate this autoplay. Yeah, so it's basically like a 3D game engine where you can have like windowing in it, and you can do coding in it and stuff. I guess ads pay for things, so but they're getting pretty intrusive and annoying now. Let's see. What would be a good reason to use Visual Studio versus VS Code? Personally, like the last time I used Visual Studio was like 2010 or something. It was a very, very long time ago. VS Code, I've never used VS Code. There's all these like new tools and stuff that I feel like I'm getting really old now. I'm like, hey, why didn't I ever use this? And it came out like 5 years after I graduated. So I'm like, oh, that's why I never used it. But VS Code, I'm not the right person to ask. I know from what I understand about VS Code is VS Code has a lot of these like AI integrations and stuff in it now. So I guess other people in the comments section are probably more well equipped to speak about the pros and cons of VS Code and why you should use it. It's one of the things where I've never used it, but I kind of think maybe I should start trying to use it just to know what's out there. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm getting really out of touch with modern software development. I would call the memory usage a big downside. 100 megs for shell is absurd. Maybe you can tune the JVM to use less. That is quite a bit of memory for a shell, but it's I guess like a hobbyist project, just like an experimental thing, and I like to shine a light on stuff like that because it does bring up some of the important questions, and sometimes there are issues that maybe make a certain project not viable. But then if it also has, like, if the goal is not necessarily minimalism, if it's just have like access to new and interesting features, then it might be worth the extra memory if it has enough cool features. Patch uses like 6 megs of RAM. I think there's a point of every tool can do its best thing. If you want really lean shells, I think the simple TTY shells make sense. I saw it come by. Record your tools right up. Oh, thank you for the kind words. By the way, there is actual Docker mail server. Okay, I'll skip those comments instead of Google them. It seems like AI, LLMs, ChatGPT, etc. running code is all the rage, but all I can find are benchmarks without any of the details of what. Whoa, chat's going fast. Oh man, the chat. I can barely read the chat. What do you think of all the AI hype? Should I keep learning programming? I think it's one of those things where it's going to be, if you're really passionate about programming, I think it makes sense to continue. Now, if you are just thinking about programming as like a get rich quick thing, then it probably isn't the right field for you, especially with things that are about to get way more competitive. I think the all this AI stuff, it's going to make it easier and more productive if you're like one of the top like the top tier programmers who are the most motivated and the most interested. But if you're already kind of just scraping by, I think it's going to be even more difficult and more competitive now. So of course, because automation always comes for the kind of lowest entry level work, and like these AI written code is going to produce incredibly difficult to debug software because it's going to look like it's correct, and so we're going to need really, really good programmers to debug the bugs that are in AI generated code moving forward. What's your favorite Linux distribution? I personally just use Ubuntu all the time for everything, unless I have a good reason not to. Don't start with Vim. You won't be able to quit ever. That's a good joke. anyone here aware of actual amazing code ChatGPT LLMs have written that are either truly new things or just saving a person from writing them? I've seen it, like, it can write surprisingly, like, detailed things that look like the right solution. But then the mistakes it'll make are just like absurdly dumb mistakes. So clearly it's like, it's picking up on it like learns about code in that domain, and it like even mimics the variable names and stuff like that, but then it'll transpose two of the variables in a way that just, it'll give you like bugs that are really, really difficult to debug. And of course, if it's possible to test the code for correctness in an automated way, then you could just generate like 10,000 iterations of the same thing to maybe get to the right solution in a fully automated way. Are you familiar with post-quantum cryptography? I've heard of it, and I do know it's I mean, I think at this point it's basically still a theoretical thing, at least for the civilian world. There's all kinds of all these companies are trying to claim they have these new like quantum algorithms that solve things in a totally different complexity class, but then I always hear about 2 years later they'll say like, oh, actually, we thought this was it was faster, but we figured out a way to do it on a classical computer, and so technically there's no quantum advantage. Okay, we got a super chat here from text. Jolter. Sorry, the font is hard to read. Contrast is poor. Good luck with your good luck to you, man. I've been a professional programmer for approaching 30 years. It's a grind for sure. Didn't get into it for rich quick. Just love programming. It can be good money, but it's tough at times. Yeah, it's I think it's, regardless of what your career path is, it makes sense if you can like if you're really intrinsically motivated to do it. So if you're in, like, personally, the reason I went into programming and the reason I learned it at university, and the reason I still program is because I really like I really like developing software. Like it, when I was younger, I had to kind of I wanted to be more of like a Renaissance man, and I learned about all the famous mathematicians and stuff like that, and had maybe ambitions to be a researcher or something like that. So if you like the idea of being an academic, then even if the job is kind of a real grind, at least there's still something in it for you when the AI comes for us to take all our jobs. But if you're just in it for the money, and you really don't care to spend extra time to learn stuff and be on the cutting edge, then I think it's going to get really difficult for those people to compete in this new economy, because the whole there's like day in the life videos that people are posting on YouTube about all the free food and stuff at Google, and I think the era of that stuff is it's definitely on pause for a while. I don't know. It may come back in some form in the future. Hi everyone. Hi to Lewis. ChatGPT and other LLMs are only good assistants for developers. They're very, very, very good at answering specific questions about a specific API of a language. And they aren't good at writing apps. Yeah, I have. I of course have experimented with it. Like, to me, it hasn't been good enough for me to be like, wow, I should really start leveraging this. I have. There have definitely been cases where, even because most of the development I do in the command line, I miss things like the. I have been looking for some kind of way to set up like a language server that can work with Vim for Java, so I could do like auto create getters and setters. And I've heard that where AI really shines, it's like if you have to like deserialize an object, and then you have like 20 members in the object, and you basically just want it to type out all the assignments of like to unpack this object and to assign all the members, that kind of stuff it's really good at. But and it can even maybe make a couple mistakes, but for something like that, to do that manually, to type out all these variable names and stuff and to iterate over the structure, it's just it's something that the computer can just do for you automatically, and then you can just manually check it over and fix any small errors. My uncle said these times are exactly like the times the pen and paper comes out and erased those who were using stylus, quills, brushes, and reed pens and became obsolete. He said do the TH wave. Yeah, it's technology is constantly moving forward, and we have to adjust to it, or else we'll be part of the Luddite rebellion. I don't mean to be rude, but are you dyslexic? You seem to be a slow reader. I need to make the font a bit bigger. I mean, I probably maybe I am dyslexic, but also my vision's not great, so that also makes it a bit difficult to read the chat. Yeah, I regret not the default chat. The default font size is not big enough. I could go over and like try to like Control plus on it, but then it'll probably break the window and everything, and I'll just try to get through it. The wave, which is AI. Yeah. One use of head for AI is, hey, convert this client-side JavaScript to a Python script. Yeah, I could see it being good at stuff like that. Although in some case, like a case like that is like JavaScript has certain things that don't exist in Python, or like that don't necessarily exist the same, like a set timeout function, or like there's certain constructs like you could do, I think you can do coroutines in Python. So if you wanted to go Python to JavaScript, if you want to do like a yield command or something like that, there's no real equivalent. So I'd be curious to see what the AI comes up with that in that case. I find my reading skills go out the window as soon as I'm on stream. Yeah, I guess someone asked earlier if I'm self-conscious about being on stream, but honestly, I probably should be more self-conscious, but I'm not. I guess I'm oblivious. Oh, let me, I forgot, got sidetracked. So let's do another one of those videos. So this is another one of those from the very big super chatter. So I don't totally know what's going on here, but let me maximize that. So he's got like a block world with a block-based ship in it, and he's running some code here. So it's got like an interactive scripting element directly in the game. So that looks pretty cool. And it looks like he's got a couple more subscribers since we started. So that's good. We're getting closer to 700. So I thought this was pretty interesting here. So he's like browsing a window and then like copy some code, and I guess the game, it has like there's like a shell, he's basically on a prompt, transparent prompt right in the game. So anyway, I haven't actually run this, but I've just been going back over some of his videos to try and pick out some interesting highlights to show, to advertise what he's got going. I think it's an interesting project. I guess if you're watching this HackMatrix, I think it'd be nice if there was one video that was kind of like your demo reel, where it had like just make like a list of your top like 5 features, and then just do like a narrated intro, like the game supports this thing, and here's another demo, and just go through those and give it kind of like an oral explanation along with it. Because looking at it, like I can tell there's some interesting stuff that you can do, but it's also difficult to gain an insight about like how much do these things generalize. He has one shorts that I think it's this one.
I built a game engine that allows me to use desktop apps inside the game. This means that I can edit models and then view them in the game without ever leaving the game. I can even browse Twitter.
Yeah, I think so. Like if you do maybe like a long, wide format video, maybe like 2 minutes with just like a few examples of that, and you can make it scripted and with the speaking, and then because I think this year video is probably let's see, how do I sort by popular? Does it not let me sort? Where's the sort button? Okay, so that's got 4,000. Yeah, that's your most popular video there, and that makes sense to me why that one's the most popular. Okay, so yeah, those are. I think that'll do it for going over the most significant super chatters over my last few streams. Let me take a look at the chat again. It's never right first time. Okay, responding to someone else. One use I've had for AI. Oh yes, I already read that. Yield for coroutines. What do you think about the right to repair and rich companies contributing pretty much everything? I guess we are becoming an oligarchy. What's your take on this? It takes money and resources to do things. I think personally, I think there's a certain group of people among the free software movement who are a bit like, oh, we should all just agree to not be greedy corporate people and just like write software and give it away. But there has to be some sort of like, not even like an economic model, like a physical model. Sorry, thought I heard something in the background. There has to be some sort of like a physical way to build and sustain the whole system. And I think that might be what's missing from. I mean, what it's going to come down to is like consumer needs. There has to be enough. I think the attempts of like corporations to like crack down and control on everything. Like I think it's probably going to get even worse. We're going to especially with AI, we're going to have AIs try to vacuum up absolutely everything, and there's going to be some like abusive tactics they're going to use, and then hopefully like the FCC or something, or there'll be some anti-competitive movement that'll step in and say like, okay, we're now going to give rights to people, and there'll be some class action lawsuits that'll kind of push companies a bit back into their corner and make them, actually respect consumer rights. And hopefully, unless they maybe we're close to the end. Like maybe companies are going to use AI to basically totally outsmart computers, and then private equity is literally going to take over everything, and we'll all be living in jail cells run by private equity, and there'll be private equity will completely buy up all countries in the world, and but I don't know what that future is going to look like if it gets there. I would love a video game that teaches real skills. Embedding Linux terminal into gameplay seems like a really neat idea. Yeah, I think that that's why. The big super chat was a good motivator, but also I think it's an interesting project that he's got going there. With it seems like the type of thing that I would work on. You should try hack the box. Okay, responding to someone. Okay, that's conversation. Robert, you should also try hack the box. Oh, geez. Still going? Nice. Yeah, that happened last stream too. Something wrong with Firefox, I guess. Let's try hack the box. Ready? We're beginner friendly write-ups. Could be a good video idea. Yeah, there's so many good video ideas, but only so much time to pursue them. If your job is done like this, cut and paste, requires very little creativity or initiative. Even if it's coding, AI will replace it. AI will replace you, but otherwise, someone has to prompt the AI. Yeah, that is a good point. The AI prompting is going to have to be something we're going to. That's going to be the unreplaceable job. Or I mean, you could actually prompt an AI to write a prompt for you. But then at some point, the prompts are not going to be very good. I'm heading to bed, 2 a.m. Yeah, it's past your bedtime. Have a good night. Let's see. So the next. So here is. So this is actually something I prepared for last stream. So this was speaking of AI. I have not done much coding with AI. Oh, but I have asked ChatGPT some stuff, and the stuff I saw was like, whatever. But I, honestly, because my skill, because I feel like I've already got the software development thing covered. What really interests me about AI is artwork. So this is one of the prompts that I came up with. Was I just said using Grok AI, make a LAN party in a Canadian slum in the winter. And so these are the AI images that I came up with, and just some people have been commenting on my daily posts that they absolutely hate AI generated artwork, but I absolutely love playing with it. It's just fun to see what it comes up with, and like these are pretty convincing images of what it would look like if, or maybe this is our future here in Canada. We're gonna have outdoor LAN parties in the snow. I'm not worried about AI. Look into the model collapse problem. Eventually AI runs out of original content and just spews out the same generic crap. It's already starting to happen. Yeah, I think at that point though, companies are probably going to start getting like more aggressive and maybe even more intrusive on trying to get data. And I actually think it's probably already happening. Like I actually think one of the things with YouTube, like obviously YouTube, the ad revenue is one way to make money, but I kind of think these platforms probably like, even live streamers, they want to have more live streamers because everything that a live streamer does is like feeding the algorithm. So everything I'm talking about right now, everything, I'm sure it's all being, speech to text, and then Google's training on everything that I'm talking about right now, and it's just getting more and more crazy. Actually, I know someone commented on one of my last live streams, and in that in the comment I can like do these auto response things that are AI generated, and it came up with one response that basically was the actual answer, but the answer was in the video in the live stream. So it's almost like the AI was using the context from the video, and then when it wanted to like auto answer the question that was being posed for me. So stuff like that. It's the whole thing is getting more and more sophisticated. That's a cool photo with everyone in the snow. I thought it was real for a minute. Yeah, a lot of these, like when you first look at it, and a few of my daily posts, pretty much all of those are AI generated. People have asked before. Some people said they like my voice. Some people thought my voice was AI generated. None of my videos use AI anything, except for the daily posts. I do these images here are AI. Hello, great to see you again. How's it going? Blueberry Moon with 3 N's. Keep using the AI for pictures. I think they're pretty funny, especially the ones of Castro Jr. Yeah, they're they're pretty good. They're very, very convincing. Although it's only certain people. Justin Trudeau, it does him very well. But I tried actually Pierre Polyev, it absolutely did not do him at all, which is, I think, interesting. Think about it though, when people stop producing much original content, use AI content, it's a feedback loop. Yeah, I mean, even with what I was saying before, like even in the stream right now, so Google probably likes the fact that I'm feeding the algorithm, like everything I'm doing right now is real data, but I'm also contaminating the whole stream, because now the stream has AI in it, and so if they train on this, they're gonna like, this image of a LAN party that never happened. It's gonna corrupt the algorithm. Okay, so that was Canadian Slum Land Party, and here was so this one was I had a couple. I had to tweak the prompt a bit, so there's some of them are inconsistent. But I asked for like tiny dwarfen engineers, electrical engineers that live in the forest and like build things, and yeah, so it's just these little like engineers that live in the forest building stuff in like an enchanted magical forest. I think that was pretty good. I mean, there's lots of inconsistencies with it, but it would be great for like if you're trying to imagine stuff and you want to get like 90% the way there. You could take this and like send it to you could give this to an actual artist and say like, you know, make this look actually good. try stable diffusion or flux in A111 or comfy UI. Yeah, actually, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it would be worth the investment to actually try out those tools, because the AI image generation is something that personally I feel like it would be worth paying for me. Let's see, missed a few chats. Someone asked what's happening. Right now, I am reviewing some AI generated images that I made using Grok, and so yeah, Grok's a tool. Every day I do like a daily post, a community post, and promote one of my videos, and I've been using AI generated images for that. But I just wanted to like show off some of the fun stuff I've been playing around with, just to give people some more impression of like what AI can actually do right now. Martin Hicks sends $5 Canadian. Add to the irresponsibility fund. Thank you very much. And that's your third super on a live stream. There were open weight models in open source engines. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I've not attempted to run basically any of these large language models or AI image generation myself, but that's on the to-do list. I really need I need more faster computers to make that happen. I don't really even have one with a decent GPU in it at the moment. What we need to see to know AI is capable of for it to solve a very difficult unsolved problem in math or physics. It's getting I've listened to what's his name, Terry Tao, Terrence Tao. He's a famous mathematician, and he said some interesting opinions on AI. And like apparently it is like it's getting really, really good, and it is kind of like the kind of especially some of these like higher order things where you can, like, if you give it a prompt and then it generates something for you, some of these results are like, they're not that great. Like, you know, these are some of the examples. Like in this, some of the faces are a bit weird and stuff like that. But you can ask the AI, like you could use AI to build better prompts. So you could like probe the solution space a bit better. And there's all kinds of like, you know, meta learning that you can do. And I think that might be that might be a really good, you know, that could be an entire research field, is using AI to generate more efficient prompts, and then that may be just enough what you need to get, like, so it doesn't, you know, the face doesn't look all messed up on it and stuff. Okay, that's that one. And then okay, so for this one, so the let me go into let me show you what the prompts were. Okay, so that's what the prompt was for the LAN party hacker one. Generate an image of a giant slum with a setting of an outdoor city landscape from Canada in the winter, but everyone is actually at a giant LAN party playing video games on their computers. There are hundreds of people at this LAN party and a few Canadian flags. And yeah, for that one I had a couple different ones. Generate an image of an enchanted magical forest populated by tiny electrical engineers that look like cartoon dwarfs who live in houses made from giant trees. The scene should include lots of electrical engineering equipment such as oscilloscopes, breadboards, resistors, capacitors, inductors, and wiring. And this one, so I haven't showed this one yet. Generate an image of an all-female Korean K-pop band whose theme is a rebellious and melancholy punk style with dark clothing, spikes, and advanced technology-themed symbolism such as computer code written in the C programming language, electrical engineering, circuit diagrams, microchips in various types of colored rare earth glass. And so the result for that one was here. Don't need investment beyond buying RTX 3060. Yeah, I do need a desktop computer though. Can you discuss your insights into what works for the YouTube algorithm with respect to your video broke loser seems engineering power drama? I think there's quite a bit to say about the YouTube algorithm. I guess I got to read some of the other chats, but there's I actually have a bunch of if you go back and check on my channel, I have a bunch of other videos, specifically the ones about revenue, like how much I made on YouTube revenue. I've done a bunch of those, and there's usually quite a bit of detail that's not really comes through in the title, but there's I kind of do a lot of my stream of consciousness ramblings on how I think the YouTube algorithm works in some of those ones. Those videos only have like 2,000 views though. Already recently been playing with Deep Sea Cap. It seems better than Rock for sure. Yeah, a lot of these it's moving so fast. These are all just like one-upping each other all the time. Did you already talk about what happened with your apartment? So currently, I have a case management hearing to go to on the 27th. So after that, there's a lot of unknowns. But after that, I'll get a lot more information about what the future looks like. Open source fees, guardrails, limitation of foundational models. You need to understand what fine-tuning is. Yeah, I haven't dove into that enough. Congrats on hitting 100,000 subs. Yeah, it happened pretty fast. I guess I haven't really had time to process it. If you want to run AI stuff at a reasonable price, you may look for a Jetson. I'm not familiar with that term. I don't think corporate companies are developing AI to solve their deepest questions of the universe. They want to replace workers, and that's where the value will be. It's already on its way. Yeah, it's just a mathematical, physical optimization system. Programming question related to YouTube playables. It seems the playable experience takes a lot of bandwidth, more than just watching a stream. I'm not sure. Try Mexico. Better women and living here. I guess I worked at multiple AI companies. I can assure you that people working there have the goal of solving the deepest questions of the universe. But you need money to do that. Yeah, we have so many like mini specialized AIs that eventually I think we'll get like it's already getting. AI is already smarter than like the dumbest humans, and I mean that's having some interesting consequences. This is my favorite stream. Thank you for the kind words. I partially agree with Seabass. AI is good at interpolating with known things. It is, although it's like you can still like you can stochastically generate probably correct, probabilistically correct new things, and if you can automate. AI allows for like automated guessing that's very close to. So you can just like do 10 million guesses, like these for like some album art cover. You could generate like 10,000 iterations of this, and then test them somehow to figure out which one is the most gets the most clicks, and then you could actually try to make that that kind of K-pop band. Are you using Debian? Yeah, I just use Ubuntu. So this one is generate an image of a futuristic advanced society that lives in a frigid, windy, cold, barren landscape where the only source of renewable energy comes from exotic-looking wind turbines. The scene is in the daytime, but the light levels are very low and the stars are partially visible. There are soft, colorful glowing lights coming from the buildings. That one's pretty cool. That one's also, that looks like Dubai or something, but it's like frozen. But yeah, I know lots of people hate AI generators a lot, but I think it's fun to play around with. I think it could serve a lot of purpose in like imagining, if you want to like imagine how technology could develop and how we can build stuff, even though the windmills don't necessarily have all the right number of blades and they look kind of messed up sometimes. What editor do you use? I use Vim, basically for everything. Ice Age. Yeah, that's probably my favorite one. Okay, let's do next one. Solar Punk Dystopia. Yeah, the prompt for this one was simple. I just said generate a solar punk dystopia. And I think it did a good job, actually. I mean, one of the core themes of solar punk is there's like solar panels everywhere, but in this one, it's a dystopia. So it's like an optimistic solar punk future, but it didn't work out for some reason, and now all the solar panels are broken. And I mean, the AI, that's just random. It decided that was yeah, and all the solar panels are broken and everything's ruined. So I mean, it did exactly what I asked it. Solar punk dystopia. So basically just California at this point. Yeah, it's I mean, with those wildfires down there, they've had a really rough go of it. Oh, a video editor? I use Caden Live for video editing. You couldn't write bash code. Too many ways to do it. Vim is super cool to edit config files. Try cursor. I'm just going to stick to Vim. All right. I guess, well, I'll do my last section. So yeah, so these streams are the last few have been my most popular streams. So I figured I might as well for everyone who's new and watching and wondering like what am I all about. So I'll just kind of go maybe back in time a little bit on my channel. Oh, look at that. I'm live right now. Yeah, so I started off doing some of the Raspberry Pi stuff. So for that, I think I was doing some Kickstarter projects. So that's, wow, 5 years ago now. And I thought the revenue model might be to do Kickstarter projects, and then some of the artifacts from that would be like some YouTube videos and stuff, and I could basically make money like getting people to pay me to do guides. And then so I made some of these initial videos, and then of course I started doing some of the Linux stuff. And then actually I remember that was I mean that only has 13K views now, but that was my one of my first ones that really started to pop off a bit. I think I released that on Christmas Day. Oh yeah, and I think I actually, let's see. Yeah, this video here did that was my first like I'd say a few hundred of the first subscribers probably came in on this video. And that was I got that linked on Hacker News. I wrote a blog post and this video was linked in it, and some of this other guide. So that was yeah, back when I was doing like Raspberry Pi camera guides, and I had ideas to integrate all kinds of sensors. Back then I was doing I had either just finished or I was still doing some teaching at the college, and I thought I was doing a lot of embedded stuff, and there were lots of interesting projects that I knew how to do or had already done, and I thought it'd be great to document this stuff. Maybe there's a revenue model in doing some of that stuff. So then I also I spent quite a bit of time working on this regular expression visualizer tool, and I'd planned to actually do a bunch of videos maybe on explaining different regular expressions, but this content didn't really take off, and I did get a few views. I mean, even this video here of the I mean, it's not the most clickable thumbnail and stuff, but still only 2,000 views. But for whatever reason, I think it's kind of a saturated market. There's a lot of people that explain regular expressions, and then in hindsight, I think I maybe went a bit too high level, and it kind of ended up being like a guide to how to write a regular expression engine rather than necessarily an intro to regular expressions. But still, I think that this article I wrote still gets quite a bit of views, and it's unique piece of content. Let's see what's in the chat. Ubuntu is pretty good. been daily driving for a year or something. NeoVim with lazy DE for the bells and whistles. Otherwise, vanilla Vim. Yeah, NeoVim, I've never used that. That's one of those things that I was looking up, like, NeoVim, what is that? And then I saw someone, it came out like after I graduated university, and I think, one of those, like an editor that came out after I graduated from university. It's just not been on my radar. There's been so many new editors that have come and gone. I have enough money now. Thank you, everyone. Said no. Said no, Zoo ever? Are you using GIMP for thumbnails? Yes. Yeah, so then I started, these are some of my first, YouTuber type thumbnails. That one I think was pretty good. That one, 4,500 views. Did some of these, and then I think I focused on YouTube when I had no other contracts going. So between contract work, I kind of just worked on this. And then actually this was one of the first ones that really popped off. I had the missile knows where it is, but it's actually a JavaScript tutorial. So 500,000 views. Then again, there's a lot like this one. I think this is a pretty good intro to SSH. I put quite a bit of work into that, but it's only 5,000 views. It's actually kind of random. It seems like I'm a very my videos either get like almost no views or quite a few. Now, how to make a CPU one, that's of course my most popular. It's almost 9 million views now, and then next one only 1.4. That was kind of just a random video I made one afternoon. And then this one I spent actually it's interesting. This one has 9 million, and that one only has 2,000. So it's like the YouTube algorithm doesn't know they're associated. And I spent about as much work on this video as I did on this video. But a lot of the stuff the stuff I had to acquire for this one, I also was able to reuse in this one. And then I've used some of those objects in other videos since. Yeah, and I try to make most of them, I think, relatively educational, but then I kind of just throw out a meme video every now and then, because of course this one here is just a meme video. There's nothing really educational about it, but the meme videos can bring in some of the views. And so I try to think about the content as like some of these are more educational, the more like useful and economically productive the video is. I think the lower the addressable market is. And so I try to think about, when I'm making a piece of content, is it going to go to a wide audience or a narrow audience? And I try to have a little bit of a mix of both. So you can start off, you can get hooked on this video, and then you eventually come down into the well of Linux, Linux shorts, favorite Linux command videos. Yeah, and then I have a few like that video I think is 3.3k views. Not many views, but it's I think some pretty unique content. And there's I don't know of anyone else who's done a more thorough video on this specific topic, even though it's a pretty niche topic. Seeing new things being introduced after you're established can be interesting. Yeah, I guess, it could be bad. YouTube knows how to it seems to really very curve fit for the audience. And then when you introduce a new thing, some people are like, I like your old content. But, the problem is, I would be maybe a bit more consistent if one thing just brought in all the revenue. Like people say, I should just make more videos like this one. But the problem is there's, this is a unique concept, and I can't really, I could do more technical concepts, but I know they wouldn't get as many views because like the question is like how many people own a CPU? Basically everyone owns a CPU and is kind of wondered like how do they work? But if you did like I don't know, how do cameras work or something, I think probably, you know, there's way more of a supply of that content, and I think it wouldn't unless you did an incredible job, it wouldn't get as many views, and it might be just as much or more work. I'm here for the crypto advice. Cryptocurrency? Oh, there's none of that here. I say buy commodities. Don't buy any cryptocurrency. Which distro for backend security? As a junior? I like if you're running stuff in production, or I'm not specifically sure what your intended use case is. I like your spunk. Glad you have more money. What will you do during? What do you do during your live streams? I guess I've just been doing kind of random stuff. The last couple of streams, I've just been talking to chat almost all the stream. But in this video, I thought since I had a video that brought in a lot of new viewers, now I'm just kind of educating people on what I do, and because there's probably some people who came in through the 37-year-old broke loser video and have no idea, you know, what I've done in the past. Callie and Tails. Yeah, I think from my understanding, Callie and Tails are like if you wanted to be if you want to be a pen tester and you wanted to like go into, if you're hired to go into a place to start like trying to lock down their system and secure it, and you know test for vulnerabilities and stuff like that. If it's a production system, I'd say maybe something that has SE Linux on it. But of course, it depends. There's a trade-off, because with more of these like security tools in them, it takes more time to configure them and stuff. So depending on how secure your system needs to be and how much you need to change it and deploy stuff to it. Happy for you, dude. Thank you for your kind words. Hello from Romania. Hello back from snowy Canada. Ladurpium says hello. How's it going? Self-use. You said for backend. I'm not sure what you would mean by for self-use for backend. If you're like maybe running a server in your house for some application, but yeah, if for daily use, I just use Ubuntu. If you want to go, you said backend SEC. I don't know if you're abbreviating security, but you also said backend. So backend, I'm thinking like a database. If you're running a database, you probably want something like a server install of, I guess Ubuntu is pretty good, but maybe, you know, you could do Fedora or something. Please hello to me to Romania. Hello to Romania. I was wondering why I was here. Yeah, about your apartment and struggles. Hope it worked out. I'm going to find out more information on Monday. So there's a case management hearing where we're going to talk about the whole. They're grouping together. The tenant board is grouping together a bunch of the cases. So we're going to hear some information on that. What is the point of using ZFS? ZFS is useful if you have a lot of data, so much data that you can't fit it on one hard drive. So that's for me, the biggest application is data sets. Like if you have 10 terabytes of data and you want to spread it on multiple hard drives, and then also redundancy. So especially when you start going to multiple hard drives, now you have to think about what happens if one of those drives fails, and and with ZFS you can have redundancy. What changed for your financials to improve? Glad to hear things have improved. The main thing was December ad revenue was way higher. So my 37-year-old broke loser video got quite a few views, and because it was so long, that brought in quite a bit more revenue. Moved to Mexico, live for under $1,000 a month. Yeah, lots of people have suggested moving, but there's a lot more. It's a lot more than just moving. I guess I'm older now, and I've acquired some stuff, and it's also family stuff, and any of the roots I have are here. I mean, it's difficult to go to a new country and just meet all new people again. I've done it. I've had to establish a whole new network coming up here, but it's a pain in the butt. That's cool. So it's like RAID. Yeah, I guess if you want to more or less, you could in fact one of the settings you can use is called like RAID. You can do RAID Z2s, RAID Z3s, depending on how much redundancy. And there's a lot of the way certain ZFS pools work are compared directly to like RAID 5 or RAID whatever. Hey, long-time viewer, first-time chatter. What's your favorite Linux command, and why is it sort? Actually, I have a video that I published recently about my favorite Linux command, so you can check that out. I think your landlord troubles content are left tube, red tube adjacent, while Linux in general. It's also on the mutual aid freedom are philosophy aligned. What I'm saying is what about more computer political content? Yeah, I guess political content is I guess I understand why certain topics have a broader appeal, but at the same time I also want to also make sure there's some kind of like economically productive value in the content, because things that make money, if there's some economic value to the content, there will be money that will come from somewhere. And I think also for stuff like the the Linux command shorts, even though they don't get as many views, I think there's a certain audience that really likes the fact that they exist, or even like I think there is a segment of people who are willing to like pay and kind of subsidize Linux content, whereas if it's just like political rants and stuff, I think maybe the market for that there's people willing to pay for that, but the market is way more saturated. So I mean, it's all about carving out a market niche. Every time I do a topic or make something, you learn what there is demand for in the market, which is kind of the point of my 37-year-old broke loser video. I went out in the world, talked to a bunch of people, and I found out the market that I thought existed didn't really exist. If you're starting working at Cyber, you can use whatever, but CubeOS is fun in terms of security. Another option is NixOS because immutability. Yeah, NixOS. I'm not. I've heard of it. I'm not at all familiar with it. Here's an idea. Move out of this piece of crap property and do more live streams. It's a possibility. I guess the main, if I was rich, maybe. But then again, the question is where to. Yeah, I mean like it's easy to just say like, oh, leave Canada and move to this country, but there's so much more involved, visas and then also, this is where I grew up. This is the only true home that I know. So any family I have is here. So if I have a situation with family, then I have to come all the way back here. And how do you deal with bit rot in ZFS file systems? There's a scrub command, so you can actually most of my backup data I keep the pool off like all the time, and then every once in a while I boot it up, and then I run ZFS scrub, and it'll take like a day, and it basically reads back all the data, verifies the checksums, and if you have built-in redundancy, then it'll autocorrect for you. What's stream delay? I'm not sure. Did it indicate anywhere? I'm kind of slow at reading down the chat. I live in Mexico. You can get crazy taxes here. You can get 2% tax haven for digital nomads. Also, easiest immigration process ever. Yeah, I mean, for now, anyway, I'm not going to be moving anywhere, but hope everyone is having a good night. Thank you for the good vibes. What's your favorite thing about Canada? Favorite thing about Canada? At the moment, that's hard to think of. I mean, historically it was politically stable place to live, but it's been so much more like political chaos recently, or just like not just political, but like social chaos and like random protests all the time, and I don't recall seeing that as much. How do you feel about Trump's desire to annex Canada? Would you be okay with being an American? I think it's mainly just a bluff to set the conditions for negotiation tariffs. I actually don't think that I don't think it would make sense for them to annex us. I mean, I think if they wanted to, they absolutely could, because we don't have our own military. Excuses, try something new. I will look out for you. It's just moving somewhere is. I get tons of comments. People like, "Oh, move to this place, move to that place," and it's easy to dish out advice and comments, but then to actually follow through with it is way more commitment is required. Your 37-year-old loser video did a lot for me about perspective. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully some of the. I mean, I kind of. It would have been. I maybe came across a bit more negative. I could have emphasized some of the. Because not every engagement I had was terrible, but I do think it's. I would like to get more people into programming, but at the same time, I also think that it's. I'm kind of doing people a disservice by making. But by withholding what I think is some of the truth. But at some point, I'll probably, if I get around to it, I was thinking about actually doing some more general appeal videos that were maybe a bit more positive stuff, like a lot of people asked me for advice about like jobs and stuff, and I could maybe do my perspective on the job market, and maybe actually spend a bit of time to research that. Like, if I was going to start looking for a job now, what would I personally do? Because I've been at the loop of that for quite a while. Let's see. So, so those are some of the older videos, and then I did the. Then I started running out of money a few months ago. Almost 10 months ago, and then. That was when we first found out. That was when the renovations first started. So then I said, I'm going to try do a challenge. I'm going to make one video every day. and that was actually quite difficult. So I made one video every single day for 30 days, and a couple of them did okay, and just try to cover a bit more of a broad reach of the different topics I talk about in this channel. And yeah, that brings me to, and then I finished off the so my 108 Linux shorts videos. Finished that off with a overview of the core utils tier list. I did another Silicon video because I thought, you know, most of my subscribers actually came from the how to make a CPU video. So I thought that, you know, like the how to make a CPU video got lots of views. So it's almost kind of surprising to me that these ones, like that one has like almost 9 million views, but this one only gets 3,000. It makes me wonder, like I mean, I understand this video is maybe not as good, but it can't be that bad. But I don't know. I mean, the other how to make a CPU video, it went for like 2.5 years before it got, yeah, 2.5 years to get to 60,000, and then it went to like, you know, millions in a few days. Yeah, and then I've kind of I have always wanted to do a bit more like, you know, CPU manufacturing adjacent type videos. So this was one of those. There's not, you know, it's not a lot of information out there on photo masks or on like line width standards and how to measure really small stuff. So, and then of course the block mining simulation game, which is a kind of longer term thing that I thought like eventually I can't just like produce content for income diversity. I should have some kind of actual business revenue from something. So I think the terminal based game, I'll try to, you know, see how much interest that generates. Now that I have a few more viewers, maybe I'll, the next one I can get a little bit more money for the Kickstarter and make the game even better. And then of course that brings us to our latest saga. So if I can, I actually have no idea what's going to happen with the living situation, because if the, yeah, I'll find out Monday, because that'll give me a perception of like, because there may be like multiple hearings and stuff, or they may, you know, maybe something that means we're gonna have to be out of here a lot sooner, or I'm pretty sure that an eviction order will not be a consequence of that, of the next hearing. But if they schedule like another hearing in 2 weeks or something, and then try to rush that through, I have no idea how that will all work. You need to take more risks. I mean, I'm already doing business stuff. That's a decent risk. The problem is like, so many people are just like, oh, just do this, just do that, and like it costs absolutely nothing to throw around that advice. But then when you follow the advice, you know, you're committing your real time and real life to it. And there's, I mean, it's amazing. The comments on this video were quite insightful, because there's lots, you know, there's of course some good advice, but there's some advice that's like both the supportive advice and some of the like antagonist advice, like, oh, you're an idiot, you should have done this. And like both sides of it, there's just like so many clueless people commenting on this that like they haven't gone out and, you know, tried. They're like, oh, you should have just done this. And yeah, and I didn't say it in the video because I don't have enough time, but as for a lot of those things I did try something. But I mean, the other issue is with moving is, of course, you know, family. I have there's people that I know here. I've already moved up here before, and it's you know, it just takes time to set down roots. And then of course, I don't know, who knows? I mean, there's some areas of Mexico that I don't know. I'm not even sure how safe they are. But then of course things are getting less safe here, so who knows? I'm still to watch all of your videos and lives. I'm not sure what that means. Using light mode is crazy. Yeah, I guess it is. It's pretty bright. Your videos have taught me so much about Linux. It's been an extremely valuable resource. Thank you for the kind words. IMO, after doing that video, 37-year-old broke loser, talking about job market, it's not the best move. Renting works really well. But the job market is not the best move. Renting works really well. Yeah, I mean, I think that video is probably, you know, it's not a video you would want a prospective employer to see, but I don't plan to go back to that job market anyway, so I have nothing to lose there. I love the Awk video. Thank you. That was another one of my kind of early breakout videos. All I can say is keep doing YouTube. Yeah, that's plan to do that. For now, it's growing. There's people here. This is not the record-breaking stream, but there's 63 viewers, so this seems like where there's a future. Job market done 15 years. In 7 years, you won't have one. Trade crypto going to be stupid this year. Yeah, crypto I can't take serious. I can't take any crypto seriously at all. I own 0 crypto, and wait, here's what I think it's going to happen. I think the price of crypto will go up, but somehow people who buy it will also still lose money. They'll get hacked or some kind of weird stuff will happen. How to make a CPU video was pretty good. Yeah, it was literally my best. I agree. You already took too much risk. You're taking off. Yeah, my strategy's always been just like take what is working and do more of it, and that's probably I put feelers out and do a few different things, and YouTube is going up, so I'll keep reinvesting in that and take my YouTube revenue and buy more fans and cables, and I really quit my teaching job and moved. So happy, yes. I'm clueless because I don't care. Risk. Yo, bro, listen, learn how to trade Bitcoin. Learn Bitcoin. Trust me. Okay, I will heed your advice. Currently stuck in the team lead phase of my career. Any advice about getting into management or architecture? I don't know. I think like my understanding of the corporate world is that in that position, it's like you also need to learn. You also need to learn like office politics. Like there may, in some of those positions, I think you're kind of destined to only rise up the ranks so far as the people above you will allow it. And I think at some places you may be kind of handicapped at like only rising up so far. But you'd have to evaluate it on a case-by-case basis. So it's probably, actually, probably the best way to answer your question, the most general way possible, is there's a meme photo of like the types of companies, the org charts for companies. There's like Oracle has this one org chart, and then Amazon has another org chart, and then there's like Microsoft has I think Amazon was like a nice vertical thing, and then Oracle had one that was just like a legal team and stuff. And so find that like meme. Let's see if I can. So like learn what this looks like in your company, and then yeah, so like this is why I can't give any generic advice on that question. Is because you will probably be limited by how this works in your company. Do you have money left over you can give me? Not right now, because I only have enough money to pay rent for next month. And I have money that will hopefully be coming for this month, and then the month after I don't know. Then I'm out of money again. But don't take crypto seriously. Speculative asset. Hot game of hot potato. Yeah, I'd say if you want to expose yourself to like high risk, high return, trade something real on leverage, like trade commodities on leverage or something, which is like you can lose a lot of money, and that's might be kind of stupid, but I think it's also, it's also putting your life savings in Bitcoin is also pretty speculative. Hey Robert, do you believe there is a decent chance of meeting a good woman in the near future? That's a hard question to answer. Right now I'm just focused on survival. Once I get a bit caught up on money, then that becomes more of a possibility. Just becoming Monday I have a case management hearing, and having a stable living environment is an important prerequisite for that kind of stuff. I mean, Jake and Logan Paul do crypto, so yeah, I mean, a lot of it though is like just like they're basically just scamming people. So I mean, all the I don't want to have oh man, his name is escaping me. The guy who does all the Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency scams, CoffeeZilla. I don't want to have CoffeeZilla doing a segment on me. To a fellow Brad, you should probably force them to promote you, or you quit. Yeah, that could be another decent strategy. I think it all depends on the office politics, how they will respond to that. I agree with you, Robert. I think crypto will go up. Maybe 1% will make money. I think the way to make money in crypto is to scam people. Yeah, there's also I don't know. I think there's like bigger things at play with crypto. It's it's just I mean, Bitcoin is so high now. It's kind of strange. We got a super chat here. Just wanted to say hello. Oh, how's it going? Hello to Capture PLN 10. Thank you very much. I've been laid off for a year as a junior developer. Is there any hopes? What can I do? I don't know. It's I want to give hope. I guess it depends on where you are. I think that now, I mean, if you want to be optimistic, you could say that the economy might start to pick up now, because like now that Trump is in office, not because of Trump specifically, but because there's going to be more certainty in the market now. So there's lots of companies that have been just holding back, waiting, like they don't know what they have capital they want to commit, they want to invest in something, but they've been waiting to see, like, what is Trump going to do? What is he going to say? Because then whatever Trump says, then they'll invest their money in that thing, and then once that capital flows through the economy, that'll maybe pick things up a bit. But other than that, for generic advice, I don't have anything super deep and insightful. Maybe some people in the chat will have some more specific words of wisdom. Hodl Monero every day. Oh wait, chat's starting to go fast again. How's the terminal block game, Robert? I have not worked on it at all since November. I've been too busy with other stuff. Getting the 37-year-old broke loser video. That took was I started working on that in November, and then the last few videos and renovation stuff has been taking up my time recently, and then the streaming and stuff. Let's see, I'm missing some chats. Chats about crypto. I don't care about those. Does anyone understand the value of blockchain? I made a lot of money on a slot machine, I guess, once. Please, I'm a 40-year-old loser. Please make up for me. Make money. Do everything you can. Money is everything. Yeah, money is, unfortunately, money is pretty important. I use Sublime. VS Code tries to manage everything about your environment, and ends up becoming a mess. Sublime, that's kind of old school. I haven't. That was a pretty big fad. 2014 or so. But I guess it's a pretty reliable, simple editor. Speaking of your 37-year-old broke loser video, what about your community idea? Wink, wink. Yeah, I mean, there's the link to the Discord. I haven't posted that publicly, but so anyone who's a channel member, the link is there. I think Brad has also shared it. It's your Discord, so I'll let you share it as you wish. Sorry, Robert, bored of these grifters in here. Oh yeah, I've been basically ignoring this. A bunch of them are showing up. May have to. Yeah, are they like promoting something, spamming something? Oh yeah, they're getting bad. Yeah, actually, I might just call it a stream now. The crypto chatters. I'll maybe go have a rest and then come back and ban some of them. Move to Austin. Have you ever considered developing software as a product? That's basically what I'm doing with the block mining simulation game, because that's I think a thing where I can have it's just a simple concept where I can have a partially complete piece of software, and I think with the block sponsorship model, I can at least get some incremental investment in it and get some cash flow on it, even though it's not a lot. And then I think there's other ways I can, just have like pay $20 and get some kind of, something that shows up in the game. Exchange them. Okay, these are all. There's a bunch of crypto people. I'm only taking BTC. Yeah, I think I'll call it a stream. I'm not sure how long I've been streaming. It's got to be at least a couple hours. But and we brought in another $56 in chat revenue. So I'll call it a night, and we'll do the same thing next week. And yeah, I'm not sure what the theme will be. Maybe, I guess after Monday, I will get some information about like what does the future look like. Because if they're like, surprise, you're all evicted or something, then that would completely change my roadmap. But if it seems clear that I'm still going to be able to stay here a while, then that changes my priorities. But anyway, I will talk to you guys next week and see you later.